Hey, I'm back, and today we're going to talk about SIBO and intermittent fasting. What is SIBO? Small Intestinal Bacterial Overgrowth. Okay, that's a situation where you have too much bacteria in the wrong place. Normally, the bacteria should be in the large intestine right through here, but you have too much in the small intestine. It's not where it should be. So you get too much fermentation, too much gas, bloating. And then if you add too much fiber that feeds the microbes right here, it's going to be worse. You'll react with too much salad, for example, in which case you have to cut it down. And also antibiotics. You should never take antibiotics if you have SIBO. It's going to get worse. You're going to have more gas. So the more fiber you have, the more probiotics, the worse it gets. Now, what I want to talk about is this thing right here. There's something called Migratory Motor Complex. What is that? Well, this is a system in your body that allows kind of like a house cleaning effect, like a broom cleaning up all the leftover food and bacteria. It's supposed to sweep all this stuff out and push it into the large intestine, okay, between meals. That's a normal process. It's on a 90-minute cycle, so it happens every 90 minutes. So after you eat, the food goes down through here, and then you're supposed to get this effect right here of pushing any residual back in here because we don't want too much bacteria in the small intestine because this is not where certain food and certain fiber should be digested, okay? Now, this mechanism is controlled and triggered by motilin, okay? Which is then triggered by bile salts, okay? So bile salts actually control this. Let me explain what bile salts are. Bile salts are not made by the gallbladder, they're made by the liver, but they're stored in the gallbladder. So bile salts help you digest fats. They do a lot of other things. They help get rid of excess cholesterol. They help you extract fat-soluble vitamins from the food that you're eating. And they also help kill bacteria, believe it or not. 90% of the bile is recycled several times through the last part of the small intestine, right through in here. So you have this recycling effect. So when you're eating, for example, you're using a lot of bile to extract nutrients from that food. In fact, an average meal, it's between 4 and 6 grams of bile per meal. So if you're deficient in bile, or you don't have a gallbladder, or you have a fatty liver, or you have some problem with the liver, and you don't have enough bile, this could really disrupt your digestion. But remember that bile helps kill the bacteria. So when you're not eating, the bile triggers this starts kicking in, you start cleaning up and killing any residual bacteria, and it goes through here. What is the problem? The problem is most people eat too frequently and they never allow this to occur. They have a lot of undigested food and they start developing all sorts of gas problems because they now have too much overgrowth of bacteria in the wrong place. So if you have this problem, the most important thing to do is intermittent fasting. It will allow this process to occur, okay? But you also will need to increase your stomach acids through betaine hydrochloride and apple cider vinegar because we want all this food to be broken down at this level and not end up as undigested food right here. Plus, there's microbes in the food, and there could be viruses and fungus and even yeast. We want that all killed and sterilized at the stomach level so it doesn't end up down here and start growing. Now, if you're deficient in bile or you have a liver problem, you can take purified bile salts, okay? So, and I put a link down below for more information on that. And that way, that will actually help this process occur as well. And another beneficial thing that you can do, and I used to do this in my clinic all the time when I was in practice, is do some acupressure for what's called the ileocecal valve, okay? Now, between the small intestine and the large intestine, you have this little valve that keeps things separated. It's controlled by the autonomic nervous system. So if you're stressed out, for example, that can affect the autonomic nervous system to the point where this valve is left open as well. It doesn't close correctly. And you'll have a lot of discomfort and spasm in this area as well. But one of the things I used to do all the time, and you might want to try this out because it gives people a lot of relief, is just do some gentle massage or acupressure right in this valve to allow it to work a lot better. So what you would do is you just basically lay down on your bed, and right on the right lower quadrant, you would massage in this area and try to find it. There's going to be a really sharp, tender spot in this area, maybe a little bit of a spasm, and you just massage this area until it relaxes. it gives people a lot of relief because they have a lot of buildup of things. And so now this food that's kind of stuck there can start migrating over here, and it can relieve a lot of pressure. So you might want to try that. So I know it's a little complex, but number one, you need to do intermittent fasting. Okay, I have a lot of videos on that. I'll put them down below, but you need to do this if you have any bloating or any potential of SIBO. Okay, number one. And number two, you want to realize that bile is really necessary for this to happen. And if you have any weakness within the liver or a missing gallbladder, take some purified bile salts. That can help you as well. Next point is to acidify the stomach with betaine hydrochloride and or apple cider vinegar. And lastly, don't forget the natural antibiotic in the form of garlic, clove, oregano, thyme. There's many different types, but those are some good ones. And you might even want to try some massage over this ileocecal valve. It may also give you a lot of relief. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hey guys, real quick, I have a new healthy keto eating plan for you. Just go to drberg.com. It's right on the front page. I put a link down below. Download it. It's free. Check it out.